Everyone wants to know, how do you do the infinite scrolly image thing? And I don't know why I see this so often on Webflow sites, but uh, people want it. It's the craziest thing. My mom wants it. Your clients want it. And so, how do we easily do this for WordPress? And how can we use Motion.Page to achieve this here stuff? So, that's what this tutorial is. Let's get into it. So, what I'm going to do first off is I'm just going to create a new page here. I'm using Bricks Builder, but you can use whatever builder you want. So I'm just going to call this Marquee tutorial. Publish it. And we're going to go and do the whole edit with bricks thing. All right. So just kind of taking a look at this here. Okay, so this is what we're trying to achieve. Infinite scrolling logos off the screen. And okay, so we'll start with adding a section here. And I'm going to make sure that the section is set to 100% width. I'm pretty sure this one is, but I'm going to explicitly define it anyway. And I'm going to do the same with the container here. Let's see. I'm going to set overflow on the parent, on the section. I'm going to set that to hidden. And the reason for that is we don't want to scroll off to the right or left with these off-screen images, because what's happening here is these images are being scrolled through and they're being passed off screen and the animation's being repeated. So we're going to hide that to give the illusion that this thing is just continuously looping. Okay. So now I have what I want. So this is the container. I'm going to give this a custom class of marquee track. There it is. And okay. All right, so I'm going to add some images here so we can get this show on the road. And we're going to go ahead and select an image here. So I've already got some logos here. This looks good. I'm going to add some padding on the container here. This is optional. I just wanted to do it because I think it looks a little nicer when there's room to breathe. And then for the image, I'm going to add a little bit of padding around it. I'm just going to do one VW. And I've got about 6 of these. So I don't know. That works out to, what is it? I think it's, we'll just call it 16% or something like that. Okay, so now I've got this sized and it's fluid with its size. So I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate. Okay, we're going to come back up here to our parent container. And we're going to set this to flex, make sure there's no wrapping. And we have pretty much what we're looking for in terms of width. Although I kind of feel like maybe if we do 6-7%, that's a little bit better. I don't know. Let's figure it out together. So the reason why I'm increasing the width here is because I want the images to pretty much fill all of the available space horizontally. And when we do that, that'll avoid any sort of jumpiness or space between our animations. We want it to look as seamless as possible. So in this case, I've sized these images to a certain percentage divided by 100. I put 16.67% for 6 of these images. That's probably super imprecise, but we're just going to give it a run and see how it goes. And Monzo, I have no idea what Monzo does, but I'm sure they do a great job of the thing that they do. And okay, let's see. Vention, again, no idea. And then there is Imperfect Foods with the demon carrot things. Okay, so these, we want to make sure that these are aligned. So we're going to line items on the vertical axis. And there we go. So that's looking pretty darn good. Okay, so now we're going to come over to Motion.Page. And we are going to attempt to animate this here page. What the heck did we call this page? Marquee tutorial. And select the appropriate page. There we go. So first off, we want to make sure that page load is our trigger before load. Let's go ahead and select our thing, our key track. That's what we want to animate. And that's the parent container of these images. So we're going to use translate because we want to horizontally animate things. So we want to move it from left to right, or right to left, I think. So we're going to set this to 0%, and then we're going to come over to 2, and we're going to set this to -100. So that will move things to the left. And let's go ahead and extend this out to 5 seconds and hit play and see what happens. Looking good, looking good. Okay, so a couple things here. So first off, I didn't like how it slows down towards the end. So we're going to have to change the easing to none on the to and the from. And the reason why we're changing this to none is we want to ensure the consistency of speed throughout the entire animation. So that's looking great, looking real good there. And okay, let's go ahead and repeat this. So for an infinite loop, so to -1, what you do in from, you got to do on the to as well. And this should infinitely loop now. And it does repeat itself, but you can see here we've got this gob of space. So how do we fix that? I'm glad that you asked, because there's some stuff and then there's some things that we need to do to take care of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this container. And okay, so we got this stacked. So we want to make sure that we are set to row. Now it shows all of the logos here on one thing like this. I don't like that. I definitely don't want that. But let's just see what it looks like in Motion.Page here. Okay, so now we've got all of our stuff. So let's just go ahead and animate. And okay, so we still have like a pretty big gap, and now our logos are a lot smaller too. So there's a couple problems there. Now, because I did the troubleshooting for you, so you don't have to, the thing to note here is when we have flex row defined on a parent container, the child containers will take up as much space as is available. They'll share the space essentially, which is what's happening here, because we're seeing both of these container divs in their images side by side. We don't want that, because we defined this container to take 100%, and we duplicated it. So these two containers are taking 100%, but they're sharing 100% of the space together. So they're dividing it half and half. So By default, children containers will have a attribute is a flex child called flex shrink, and that's usually set to 1. So we need to add some custom CSS to get around that. So root is a convention of bricks, but you can use whatever the class name is of your element. And we're setting flex shrink to 0. The reason that we're doing that is because we want the children containers to take 100% of the width that they're allowed to take. So because we're hiding off screen other divs, we're only seeing the one div here. So flex shrink 0 is what we need to achieve the effect that we want. So I'm going to come over here to this other container, and I'm also going to do the same thing. Now I'm going to save it, and we're going to go back to Motion.Page. Reload. Look at that. Okay, let's go. And a little bit of a jump there, but looks like it's corrected itself. And yeah, so it looks to me like we've got, like we have exactly what I'm looking for here. So the one thing is I would love for this to be longer. And let's just drag this out to full 10 seconds and hit play again. Looking pretty good. I'm happy with this. And you know what? I'm going to extend this out just a little bit and just add a couple more seconds because I'm being real persnickety like that. And this is exactly what we want to see. So I'm going to save this animation. And if we come over here, just do a little save, and then we preview this on the front end. Perfection. Look at that. That is how we do this. Now, the one thing that you'll notice, so it's not 100% responsive. So this is good for the desktop viewport, but then we notice that it kind of stacks here, which is not, that's not what we want. So I'm just going to look at this on mobile. So if I come over here, we can see some stackage happening. And I assume that's because, yeah, we're good here at this breakpoint. We're not. So I'm just going to come over here and, this changes to wrap. So we're going to change that so it doesn't wrap anymore. We still have a little bit of wrapping there. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, that's interesting. So in our case, in bricks, wrap automatically is assigned below a certain breakpoint. So if we change this, okay. So now we've got these images. They don't look super great. You know, like how do we solve for that? That's a little trickier. I think it just to try to take this on a smaller level or on a smaller screen, we can still do a duplicate, right? So here, I'm going to just call this mobile. Now, what I would probably do is I would probably break this up. I'd probably create like another container, but within each container, I'd probably just do 3 images a piece. So yeah, that's, let's see. Let's give that a try. I'm just going to delete this. I don't know why I did that. Okay. So let me go ahead and, yeah. Okay. So I think for the images, we're gonna learn together right now. So I'm gonna just make these 33%. We're gonna keep the same padding around these images. But here we go. Oops. And 33%. Okay. Now, I think, yeah. I'm just going to delete the images in this next container. It's probably not the most efficient way to do this, but who cares? So I will take that image. So we're just going to drag 3 over and 3 over. So now we've still got the same amount of images here in our scroller, but we're only going to see like a certain number of them. So this should look nicer on a smaller screen. So for this, let's see, we only want the mobile to, here, we don't want it to display on this screen. So we're just going to set it to none, set this to none, and then our top section here, once we get down to this viewport, we're going to set this to none, and that should also not display. Okay. Flex. Okay. All right, that's looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and see what we get now. Okay, so that looks a little bit better with our now resized images. So this looks better on mobile. I have zero idea why it jumped right there like it just did. Actually, that is an interesting jump. I'm not quite sure how to solve for that yet, but look, we got some scrolly image stuff. So hopefully, I'm guessing, if I had to guess, actually on this, I think we might need to do like another set of images. Like I feel like these containers would need to be duplicated again. At least that's my shotgun approach to trying this out. So looks good. Anyway, hopefully this was helpful. And if you have any questions, let me know. Maybe I answer them, maybe I don't. Take care.